All right, we're taking it all the way back to where it first began. The uphill wheel and how it started was right here on Avery Creek Road. I'm here by myself and I'm going to climb up for the first time ever by myself. And this road is how I got the uphill wheel name. Let's get into it. Now, just a few short years ago, I would have never embarked on an adventure like this by myself in these conditions, in this area. But my growth over the last several years in mountain biking has improved tremendously. I'm on Avery Creek Road. I parked just past the horse stables. As was stated in the beginning of the video, this area is where my channel name came from, and I do got to give a shout out to my buddies, especially my buddy Jason, who honestly I believe that trip was the first time I ever met him, and he's the one that suggested me change my channel name because it was Over the Hill with Will. But I struggled on this climb so bad, and all the other climbs we did that same weekend, that I did a lot of whining and complaining. And one thing I said was, no one ever does any videos on the climbs. They just show the fun. I didn't know what I was in for, and I complained about that. I was like, no one ever freaking shows how long the climbs are. And when you want to come to a place like this and you don't know whether you're over your head or not, I had no clue. And I'm just going to tell you that the weekend before this trip to Brevard was scheduled, with my friends, my wife and I were traveling through this area on the way back from Savannah, Georgia. And when I saw how big the mountain was that I was going to be riding on, I actually second guessed whether I should even go on that trip or not. I started at 10 till 2, so we'll see how long it takes me to get. My goal is to actually climb all the way up to the Avery Creek Trail. Still grinding. I don't know, I'm probably a little over 30 minutes in to the climb, give or take a few. I'm gonna take a break again. These climbs are kicking my butt. It's only 174. I'm getting a little bit winded, so I just stopped, take a break for a second. But I'm only stopping for a second where a few years ago I had to stop and sit down. I'm just stopping for a second before I do this big climb. I'm going to start traveling here on a more regular basis. I'm in e-bike shape. I think I'm getting close to the Bennett Gap trailhead. All right, so there is the Bennett Gap trailhead. That's what time it is. It took me about 35 minutes to get to it, give or take a few. Okay, so we're gonna keep climbing, but that gives you an idea. It took me 35 minutes of kind of rough climbing, or not rough, but like very pedally. No tech, obviously, because it's a fire road, but that gives you an idea. 35 to 40 minutes grind. So let's just keep going. I don't actually remember how far it is from here. All right, so far from the Bennett Gap Trail to where I'm at now, this has been a gradual increase, which is more what I'm used to. So I'm able to go a little bit faster and not getting as worn out. If I remember correctly, there's a little bit of a climb. Yeah, I know I gotta climb Club Gap Trail to get up to Avery Creek, which is pretty steep. Usually have to walk quite a bit of it, but and I know the GoPro, just like on the descents, does not ever, it's not going to give it the accurate depiction of how steep the climb is. Alright, we're coming up on the trailhead. There's going to be a climb here, but I need to take a break for a minute. But here we are, Club Gap. We're going to climb Club Gap and then go to Avery Creek. Alright, now this is where the real climbing begins. Wet and slick. Steep. Oh, it's very slick. All ready to film the burn. All right, now we're doing a little bit of climbing in the woods. Ooh. It's all about the climbs today. Now I know this particular section on Club Gap. I actually walked it the first time I ever rode it. So I wasn't able to ride probably any of it actually. I'm sure that I'll have some walking sections here in a minute because it is slick, so slick. I'm gonna climb this and take it to Avery Creek and then take Avery Creek down. So beautiful. Fight it. Fight. Oh yeah. I can tell you, in the past I would not have made that. Whew. I think this is the part that a lot of people don't show too, and I'm going to show it. It's the hike-a-bike section. Now, I'm just out of breath and energy, so instead of stopping, I'm just doing a hike-a-bike, catch my breath, and get to a easier spot to pedal. But from what I remember, this section's pretty pushy. I mean, there's lots of people that can climb it. Yeah. Today is not that day for me, not all of it. So there is some hike-a-bike. Don't be ashamed of that. All right, after lots of hike-a-bike up the Club Gap Road, we're going to drop into Avery Creek, and we are going to take it slow because it is cold, wet, slick, and I don't really know the trails that well, so I need to because there was a drop there that I definitely could have taken. Another drop. I need to fix my helmet. My helmet's like sliding into my face. So I rolled up on my first bit of like storm damage, and I can see why it's not cut out. It's like a sling. It's the way it's wedged in those trees. It would be really hard for them to cut out without somebody getting hurt. Now, I'm taking my time, picking my way down here, just taking smart lines. Coming to a place like this by myself, I do actually ride way more cautious than I do if I'm with someone, because my goal is to make it to the bottom. You have the wet, plus there's leaves. There's a bunch of elements that me not knowing the trail, I just don't know how slick these rocks are. I don't know all the trail gaps and stuff that I've seen coming up, so I kind of been bypassing them all. I don't know what's under the leaves. Just a lot of like reasons just to ride cautiously. You don't always have to fully send it to have fun. And the truth is, I'm able to pick my way through stuff like this way better than I could a few years ago, so no shame in my game. As I say that going off that drop, I took it all wrong, but it's all good. Right, I had to get my hands a little bit right because I am death gripping because it's so sketchy with the wet leaves. You can't see anything. So I'm kind of like death gripping instead of staying loose, which is the opposite of what I should be doing. And I kind of picked this trail because I knew that it wouldn't be too hard, and also when I am done, I'll be able to ride down to the van instead of pedal up to it. So it's beautiful riding, great trails. All right, so again, we're just going to carry this theme of the uphill parts. People don't show this stuff, you know, towards the end of Avery Creek, and now I'm doing a hike-a-bike out. There's lots of hike-a-bike here in the Brevard area, so I'm not surprised by it. But again, before I ever came here, no one ever made videos about like sections like this where most of us have to get off and walk up. Mountain biking is fun, but it's not fun when you don't know what you're in for. Absolutely. But do it again. I would make this climb again today. I'd just go rest, eat something, and climb back up, and then do Bennett Gap. Oh man. Oh, there's the road. So this is it. That's the end of Avery Creek. We're dipping out on the road here. All right. Now we're just coasting on down to the bottom. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Uphill Will. Now we go downhill, so you don't need to watch anymore. But don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.